Today is a super busy day. I have appointments one after the other, but this was also the day that I pick up my Azure haul, my monthly drop for Azure that I have here in Southern Oregon. And so I'm going to show you what I got this time. Okay, let's get started then. I didn't get a ton of food today. I haven't been ordering as much from Azure as usual, mostly because what I want I haven't had in stock, and I've been looking at other places to get it because although I'm loyal to their company, if they don't have what I need, I'm obviously going to look for it somewhere else. So I got 3 boxes today. So they usually put a lot of your things in the same box. Whoa, almost lost you. Depending on what it is. And then if you get like sacks of beans and stuff like that, that's an item. That's like one package. So anyway, let me show you what I've got here. Okay, so this is my mixed box. This is the box where they put multiple items in. The other 2 boxes all have the same thing in them, but let me just show you how this is exactly as it came. All right. Actually, I got 4 boxes today. So there was one smaller box and it had frozen potatoes in it, but I did obviously put those in the freezer, and this arrived this morning and we're now in late afternoon. So you'll have to trust me on that one. I buy the Cascadian Farms 5 pounds of, they're like potato cubes. They're organic, and they're cut like O'Brien potatoes, kind of, if you've heard of that. They don't have anything else in them but potatoes, and I like that, but I like to have something like that. So they're par cooked and then frozen. So I can actually cook those on a cookie sheet and put them in breakfast burritos or whatever. So anyway, I really like those, and I got another package of those from the freezer. This is how this box is packed. They have their sale catalog. They have monthly sales flyers, is what they call it. And inside, it's just a bunch of things that they have discounted this month that they carry. A great place to get milk kefir cultures, starter cultures for kombucha, for yogurt, for gluten-free sourdough. You can make that yourself. But any type of fermenting, cheese making, and such, this is a good place to get it from. And now Azure is carrying their products. A lot of times they'll have different features in here about the family that owns Azure, and they'll have a lot of recipes in here, which is awesome. Things like carob. I don't know if you're familiar with carob. It is a seed pod that is roasted and ground and used in substitution for chocolate. It needs less sugar to sweeten it than chocolate does, and it does not contain caffeine. So it is a great alternative for people allergic to chocolate or people who are trying to reduce caffeine in their diet. And then it just goes alphabetically. These are just some of the brands they carry. And they carry all kinds of stuff in here. Here's the recipes that they give you. So there's some great pumpkin pie recipes and different things in here. And then they have things like bubbies. Now, I highly recommend you make your own fermented vegetables, but if you're not sure how you feel about fermented vegetables, or if you've never tried them before, Bubbies is a great brand to try the pickles. They make excellent dill pickles. Their pure kosher dill pickles are so good. They can be found in the refrigerator section of your local health food store probably as well, or farmer's market type store. But anyway, they carry a lot of the different fermented products from Bubbies. Celtic sea salt, Charlie's soap. They carry the BioClean soap, which is what I use in my laundry and I prefer. Just all kinds of different great brands. And like I said, they have pet, farm animal feed, fencing, personal care products. Everything that's more natural and organic, Azure carries. Most everything. Obviously, they can't carry everything. Lots of teas. Okay, they also carry produce, and that is kind of a hit or miss depending on where you're located. If you're located east of the Mississippi and you're ordering from Azure, I do not recommend ordering produce. It's not going to keep as well on the truck. It's going to take longer to get to you, and depending on what it is, if it's onions, yeah, potatoes, probably winter squash, maybe. I wouldn't get any soft fruits or anything like that. Definitely nothing like kiwi. I have ordered lemons before and had them go bad quickly, so it really just depends. Beets would probably be okay. I have ordered beets from them before. They carry golden beets, which I prefer. So it just depends on what it is and how far away you are from Oregon, because Azure is an Oregon-based company. So Azure's owned by the Stelzer family, and they are Sabbath-keeping and feast-keeping Christian family. So they are closed on Saturdays. That's good to know, but they do work on Sundays. And they don't carry any pork or shellfish items, so that's also good to know. Okay, so I have a box of 1-gallon jars because I have no idea what happened to mine, but I needed some, and they're really handy to have to make large batches of kraut or just keep things like dried fruit that you've dehydrated or whatever in. I like to just have a couple of those around, and they sell the lids separate. I mean, I think you can buy them together too, I'm not sure. But anyway, here are the lids. They put that in my mixed box. And then I didn't grow peppers this year, but then I decided I wanted to make pepper jelly, so I ordered a pound of jalapenos. And that is definitely a produce, and a few of those look a little wrinkled, so definitely I need to probably use them soon. Not like I don't have a plenty of produce to deal with now, of course. All right, so Azure is where I get a lot of my dried spices and things. So these are cinnamon sticks, and we are hosting a harvest party this weekend, and I am making hot apple cider, and I can't make that without some cinnamon sticks, so I ordered those. Also going into the cider, whole cloves. I peel an orange and stick whole cloves inside of it, and I float that in my cider. It's really good. It's the way my mom used to make it. And it's excellent. Cider, always get compliments on that. And then I wanted to stock up on a couple things, so I got cayenne because for health reasons it's good to have on hand. So it's just one of those prepping type things that I went ahead and bought to have with me. This is the one that they had that is the least spicy though, because you know, I have kids, and I mean, it will take us forever to go through this amount of cayenne, really. Okay, and then I forgot to bring the book down here to show you. I'll show it to you later in the video. Okay, so this is kind of funny, but when I was doing Whole30 last month in September, and my friend was doing it too, Mandy from over on This Lovely Path. She also has a YouTube channel here. We were joking because she told me about this book on sourdough making, and it included a bunch of tips on gluten-free sourdough making. So she and I are buying books on sourdough making and planning to make sourdough while we're on Whole30. And it was just kind of comical. We were joking that not many people would probably be doing that. I'll show you the book later, but the book is by Mary Jane Butters, and you probably heard of her if you're familiar with the magazine Mary Jane's Farm. So I'll show you that book probably this evening when I get a chance. It's upstairs right now, and I forgot to pull it. But I got organic white quinoa flour to try this with, and I don't know how soon I'll get to it, but at least I have it, and I'm ready to go when I'm ready to go. But I'm going to try to make some tasty sourdough out of quinoa flour, which apparently Mary Jane says was probably the best sourdough, at least gluten-free, that she'd ever had as far as product, as far as, you know, how it came out. So I'm very excited to try that because I really need to move away from letting the gluten infiltrate our home. When you have a large family, it's really hard to keep up with everything as far as food consumption is concerned, and you end up drifting back into old habits. And when I was on Whole30, I went ahead and bought the kids bread and did all this stuff. And now they're back into the habit of having bread all the time. Probably that started before. It probably started this summer. But anyway, it's really hard to keep them fed without bread. Okay? That rhymes, I know. But anyway, honestly, it's really hard to keep prepping when you already feed a large number of people and you're trying to get ahead, and sometimes it feels like you're stocking, but you're not getting ahead. It's just kind of one of those challenges. So anyway, that's what this is for. I'm excited. Azure's brand of unifying ground flour has always been quite impressive. It's very fine, good quality flour, and I like the texture. So I'm excited to try this. And then the last thing I ordered was 25 pounds of organic yellow popcorn. So if you're at all familiar with what's going on in the Midwest, you might consider stocking up on certain grains that your family uses. And for me, my biggest concern is corn. But when I was taking my inventory, I realized I have plenty of dent corn, probably more than we'll ever use as far as if something happens, because it has to be processed first before you can do that. But we eat popcorn, and I wanted to go ahead once a month and stock up on something that might have a price increase or not be available this winter. And popcorn was my choice this month. Now I ordered a 25-pound package, and this is how it came. Now this is the first time this has happened to me with Azure, because normally when you order a 25-pound package and they don't have it, they do not substitute out. So I'm thinking this must just be how their 25-pound packages come. It came in 5-pound packages, which is awesome. Normally, if it came in a 25-pound bag, I would bucket it, right, with Mylar bags and the oxygen absorbers and everything, and I iron them shut and put them in buckets with Gamma Seal lids or tight, airtight lids. But sorry about the finger. But this time, I might just put these in the bucket. I'm not really sure, but I like how they came, and I like that I can pick up one and it's easy. My box will cooperate. And this is another Azure Market product. So they're either farming this for themselves or they're working in conjunction with a farmer who's farming it. But anyway, I like to buy organic corn products. I don't generally buy any corn that's not organic because of the genetically modified in the Roundup situation with corn. If you're not familiar with that, there's information all over the internet. I'm not going to go ahead and go into that today. But that is what I got this month for Azure. This is Catalina. Say hi, Catalina. Hi. So anyway, that's what I got this month from Azure when we were eating more beans and or stocking up on beans, which I really don't need to do anymore because I have plenty. That's where I bought it. And when I needed to stock up on grains like wheat and rye, what else? Rice. I'm sure I'm missing a grain. Oh, well, there's millet, quinoa. Then I buy those from Azure usually because I have the drop, right? I already run an 85-member drop in Southern Oregon, and it's free shipping because we're getting it directly off the truck. So for me, it's the easiest way for me to stock up on grains, and I don't do a lot of price comparison for the grains because they're local to me. So I appreciate that, they're local, the food's being produced in Oregon. Once again, I am not alone. Are you guys seeing the theme here? We've had a lot of excitement here today because our kitten out 3 times now. Once the dog almost got her. Our dog does not have very good manners when it comes to interspecies relations.
And our kitten just climbed up the roof.
He just shot out the door right up onto the roof because I'm on the second story.
John got him.
John got him. John saved the day, but John went on the roof to do it, and Mom wasn't too happy, huh?
No.
All right. We're getting ready to go to Kung Fu here soon, but I'm trying to finish up this video. You want to go over there with your sister so I can talk?
No.
No? Okay. All right. This is the book I was telling you about. It's called Wild Bread by Mary Jane Butters. And it's Sourdough Reinvented, Flour plus Water plus Air. So it's basically about making your own sourdough with the yeast that's in the air. These are the kinds of skills that we need to have, guys. We're not always going to have active dry yeast, and we may not want that anyway. Fermented sourdough and other foods are much more easily digested by our bodies, and they give us more nutrition because the phytochemicals, the phytates, are broken down and in them. So anyway, you guys know I've talked about that before, but this is the book. I am so excited. This book is so awesome. I wish you guys would check it out if it's at your local library. I'm not sure, it's fairly new. Let me just check the inside cover. Okay, I don't need help, thank you. You can pretend to help me. It was published last year, 2018. It's by Mary Jane Butters.
And my flowers are growing.
What does that have to do with sourdough? Is there a connection
Yes.
that I don't know about?
No.
All right. Anyway, Mary Jane Butters owns the 1890 historic Barron Flour Mill. I believe she lives in, where does she live? Washington. Looks like Washington. Anyway, this is the book. This is why I bought quinoa flour on her recommendation. But she does go through einkorn, which is technically not gluten-free, but some people who are just sensitive to wheat do fine with einkorn. White rice, kamut, also not gluten-free. Sprouted wheat, brown rice. So a couple different gluten-free options there for making sourdough. I'm really excited to explore this. I don't know when I'm going to get the chance to, but like I said, I'm gathering what I need to get ready to do it. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I just wanted to tell you, being that I have an Azure drop, you know, I don't need anybody else on my Azure drop, and I don't need to advertise for it at all. But I do appreciate their commitment to quality natural foods, and I do appreciate how they run their business, and there's a lot of things I appreciate about the business, and I appreciate getting my grains and my beans and all of those things grown here in Oregon. I just really like that. I like to have my food grown close to me if at all possible. Obviously, there's always some things that you need to get from further away, but as much as I can, I try to get from them. I do order my honey from them because at least I know it's from Oregon, and I like to get full gallons of honey. Honey does not go bad, so if I have a couple extra, that's great. It's one of the things I like to store. So anyway, that was my Azure haul and what I'm doing with it. And we're getting ready to host a party this weekend, so I'm inundated with produce because we had our first frost last night, so we got everything in, almost everything in. I have a couple coleus plants, which are not food related, but I wanted to bring into my potting shed before the first frost, and I missed it. And I've got a lot of herbs to cut and hang, but I'm not sure when I'm going to fit all of this stuff in, so we'll see. But anyway, like I said, Azure's been a great tool for me. I don't order everything from there, but they have really good selection and bulk sizes. If you want, you don't have to order bulk sizes. They'll have the same product in multiple sizes, which is really nice. So if you want 1 pound of a spice, you can get that. Or if you want 4 ounces of a spice, you can get that. So just a lot of things that it would take me longer to try to dig up locally, or I don't get out much. Honestly, it probably seems to my friends like I do, but I order as much as I possibly can to be shipped to me or for pickup, because I don't have the time to go to multiple places. Noisy trip, sorry. And I can't do that. So Azure's been a great tool for me. They're not always the cheapest place to go, but they're the place that I know I can get certain things, and I can get them organically, and I can get them in large sizes. And for a family my size, that is very important. And like I said, it can be a little bit more challenging to be prepping with a large family because everything is just so big. It's on a bigger scale, and sometimes you're overwhelmed with just keeping them fed, or buying what you need because it's just so much. So sometimes prepping and putting back food for a family that size can be just overwhelming. So I just keep working at it a little at a time. I try to have a plan, and I try to work on just certain things every month. And but my big thing is, and I have to say, most of our dry goods, I don't need to buy that kind of thing anymore because off-site I keep quite a bit of a long-term food storage. But it's my working pantry, my shed pantry, which I'm hoping to reveal to you within the next few weeks because I'm working on that right now. Those are the things I need to keep stocked. But also I'm working on keeping or collecting the right medical type stuff and herbal medicines and tinctures and learning how to make tinctures and all that kind of thing. So that's what I'm working on. I'm always working on something, guys. I'm sorry. It probably gets confusing how many things I've got going. I'm not happy unless I have multiple projects going at once, and I don't know if that's a problem or not. But I just kind of keep a running list of things that I'm trying to work on on myself, and then just things that I'm trying to do or accomplish. So, like the other day, what kind of prepper runs out of Band-Aids? The kind that has children who must be smoking them. I don't know how this happens because I buy huge boxes of Band-Aids. But I go in there the other day and there are very few Band-Aids left. I have no idea what happens to them. So, what did I do this week? I stocked up on Band-Aids. I have no idea how my kids go through them that quickly. And I could swear I had some hidden and they were gone too. So I'll have to let you know when I figure out the mystery of the Band-Aids. And the mystery of the missing Band-Aids, right? It sounds like a children's story. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. We're going to go to Kung Fu, and I will catch you on the next one, guys. This is Preppin' Mama out.